Hello, friends and fellow pioneers. A few months ago, I shared with some friends that we had significantly reduced the amount that we pay for Jason's basic cell phone service. We also reduced the amount by about half that I was paying for my service. And about a year ago, what happened is that Jason was thinking, I think we're paying too much for how little we use our phones. We're paying too much now. I will share some resources that can apply for people that have high usage, and maybe it can save you and your family. But Jason doesn't really like using his cell phone that much, and doesn't really need like a whole lot of text and a lot of we really don't use that many text messages. We rely mostly on Wi-Fi, which we now have, and don't really use a lot of uh, minutes. And so for us as a family, we were thinking, we're really overpaying, and you have to excuse the sun right now. Most of this recording is going to be. I'm going to share my screen, so it's not going to be so important that you see me necessarily, but I don't normally record during this time of the day, but this is the time that I have to do this. So this is my gift to you. If you've been thinking that you've been overpaying for your cell phone services, I'm going to share resources for unlimited services all the way down to basic services, which is what um, the example that I shared with Jason. He has a basic cell phone service, and we only pay $2.50 a month for his cover, for his, for him to have a number and some basic service. And I will just confess, if you're feeling like, hey, that just doesn't even seem real. When Jason brought this idea to me, I thought, that's not going to work for us. It just doesn't seem like we can make this work. But this earlier this year, around January, we made it work. He kind of gave me the resources, and I put the basically put the pieces together, and we made it work. So for this year, he spent $30 for the whole year for his service, and this is what his phone looks like. So okay, so I'm gonna start by sharing with you, if you need unlimited service, how you can possibly save without having to be on a family plan or contracts, how we can save on your cell phone service, and maybe stop overpaying if that makes sense for you. Okay, so what we found is that there are these companies that are not the main brand, like Sprint and Nextel and T-Mobile, all of the big companies that like have AT&T. There are some like off-brand carriers of these same services, but they are branded at a different name, but they use the same network. Okay, so we had like a list of 4 or 5 that he sent me, and I looked at all of them, and so I'll share with you the resources that we found. And I just wanted to let you know that that if you feel like you'd like to save on your cell phone services, check it out, because I really was skeptical at the beginning that we could slide. I mean, we really weren't probably paying as much as some of you are paying, but it was like, why are we paying so much for as little as we use it? And so more than likely, some of the resources that I'm going to share with you can save you or save your family. It will probably, in your circle of if your immediate family, it can probably save you some money. And so part of being a better steward is, looking at how you can save on the services that you're using. Okay, so all from my research, my favorite company, like overall, was Tello. We didn't end up staying with them because we found that other service for Jason, but I will tell you that their customer service was just phenomenal. I loved it. I mean, it was, if you are from the U.S., you just appreciate when it's, domestic. You call, you can understand them, they can understand you. so far it was my favorite. Again, I will just have the disclaimer, this research and what I'm sharing with you happened earlier this year, like around January, and so I'm sharing, this is when I have the time to share my results and my experience. Okay, so Tello, my number one favorite, but it was still too much for what we needed for Jason, because we really just needed a basic service. But it's a great, the service. We did start out with Tello, and then we ported his number out of Tello, and I'll tell you about that later. But again, my favorite company was of all the ones, like if you just combine service and all that. If you're interested in checking them out, just see what type of towers and things that they use. I can't remember at the moment if it's Sprint or not. They have different services, but you can build your own plan. Let's say that you know that you're going to be using Wi-Fi most of the time, but you want unlimited text. Then you just have a little bit of data and unlimited text, and then it's $10 a month, and you don't deal with like all the super expensive taxes on some of these companies. It's just like a flat fee and you don't have to pay taxes, but I don't remember if that's the case with Tello. But again, just great customer service, really like them. Next is Visible. They have pretty good customer service. What I liked about them, we didn't really end up, I almost switched my number to them, but what ended up happening is I found something else what was even better. But what I wanted to tell you about Visible is that if you like it, they do have this really awesome plan to tell your friends until you can slash the monthly amount. Oh goodness, that's horrible advertising. Sorry about that. So they have this program where you refer to your friends and can cut your bill in half. That's really the main thing that I liked about them. But here's what happened with our specific situation. Do you see that if you have someone in your family that's 55 and up, you can have a Essentials Unlimited plan for two phone lines for $27.50 per line if you do the auto pay. And so that's what we ended up going with, just for a personal situation. And so my phone is with Mom's phone, and you don't have to be in the same household. So I just wanted to share with you some options, okay? And Mint is one that we looked into. I didn't end up going or trying them out. I'm just sharing with you what we actually did use, which was mainly the T-Mobile 55 plus plan, and that seems like to be an ongoing promotion. So if you have parents that would like to use T-Mobile or try it out, it's not a contract or anything. As long as they have it on auto pay, then it's $27.50 and they get unlimited. So it's kind of hard to beat that, for just not having contracts and not having like a special situation where it's like through your work or that kind of thing. So I thought that was a good deal. Okay, so let's get to how we got to the $2.50 plan. So the $2.50 per month plan is through a company called Red Pocket Mobile. And I don't remember at the moment what the towers they use, but you can get, I think that this offer is only available through eBay. Again, I was skeptical that this was even going to work for us, because you basically order this card and I just didn't really know how it was going to work. So I'm going to share with you, if you have someone that mainly is either doesn't really need a lot of messages or text, you get 200 minutes and 1,000 text messages. Jason doesn't even use that. we're mainly together, and we're either together or he's on can get on Wi-Fi and just use an app. We used to use well, let's see, we moved from WhatsApp, but it's owned by Facebook, to Telegram, which was supposed to be more private. Then we moved to Threema, which is supposed to be ultimately most private because it's not a free service. But so we use Threema app for our communications, so we don't really use texting for messaging. So he doesn't even really use that. We're really just using it as a kind of a backup in case he doesn't have a Wi-Fi, and just to keep the number. That's really what it is. It's like we're renting the ability to have his number for $2.50 per month, and he gets the added benefits of 200 minutes and 1,000 texts. Again, for those of you that use apps like Wi-Fi apps, then this could work. Maybe for a parent, or you have teenage children that are mostly home now or whatever. There's a lot of situations that this could work, and you have a phone line with it's just so inexpensive. So if you've been looking for like an emergency kind of phone line or a low usage line, then that's perfectly fine. So disclaimer, do you see right here where it says CMDA? It only works with CMDA phones. So I do believe that may be Sprint. And so what ended up happening is we looked for a CMDA phone that he liked. A lot of them were flip phones, and that did not fly with Jason. He didn't want a flip phone. So I found one through Tello, trying to find it now. Tello had some phones, and so I found this phone. I just wanted to give you a full disclaimer on how we did it, okay? So the phone that we got, and I don't even know if they carried anymore, but it was I think it was like $89. This is a Samsung. No, this is Motorola. So they may not carry this exact phone anymore. This was earlier this year. It's a Motorola Moto phone. You can just find a CMDA phone that works for your needs. Again, this is mainly for someone that may not use it very much, and it's just so that you can have a number that works outside of just using Wi-Fi. So that's what we did. Was at the time we found it through Tello. Then I ordered this, and I ported the number to Red Pocket. That was really it. I didn't really need the card. I think that everything was just digital, so they didn't have to mail me a card because I had already ported the number. So that's it. So this phone does work. It receives and sends text messages, and we could get all the apps on here that we needed. We got all the apps here. I'm gonna take this off or make it smaller. It does what we need it to do, and he wasn't real thrilled about getting one of these phones. He'd rather he liked his analog phone. That probably won't be the issue for most of you, but here it is. It's a touch screen phone. It can do it can accomplish most of the things that other smartphones can do, and it gets the job done for less. So this was his first smartphone. He kind of bragged. He used to really love his old phone, because he really is not a real big fan of what's going on with the technology of cell phones today. So that's it. If you have any questions, please try to direct your questions to our YouTube channel. We are shifting all of our broadcast to YouTube, and so that I can serve you from one centralized location, and we'll be closing our Facebook at the end of this month. So let me know, what did you find some of these tips useful? Had you looked into Visible or Tello or Red Pocket, and have you used their service? How is that going for you? We have not had any issues. We've had good customer services with the companies that I shared, and I just wanted to know if this, I just want to know if this is useful for you. If you're going to do it, give me a comment and let me know this was worth my time. I want y'all to have a year of better stewardship in all areas of your life, and stopping the overpaying of services, of goods and services that you buy is a really good way to get more for your money. So that's it, friends. May the Lord bless you and keep you and shine his face towards you, be gracious to you, turn his countenance towards you, and give you shalom, peace.